Let's go.
Let's go. What's up, everybody? We are back with another episode of Holla Holla Hollering at the Screen. Oh, with new merch alert.
We got
New
merch coming,
alert.
y'all.
Yeah,
We're
check
gonna
it
get
out.
this
Check
set
it
up
out.
so we get on this merch train.
Yeah, we official now. We official. The back says reviews before you view. So, come check us out before you go hit up some of these films. And
Tell him who he is.
so I'm Jay Gregg. I'm a screenwriter and screenwriting professor. I am all about story, structure, plot, and character development.
And I'm Essex O'Brien. I'm the actor, so I'm all about what hits, what misses, and what should have stayed on the cutting room floor.
Yeah, and with this one, we that cutting room floor would have been busy.
Yeah.
We here to talk about one in particular right now.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm him, dog. I'm him.
Yeah. So yeah, we got a chance to check out him, and I think we may have some differences of opinion, but I think there's some things that we probably agree on. So
hit him with that log line right quick, so they can kind of get an idea.
Yeah, let's tell you what this is about. A rising football star chases greatness at any cost, but as his body and soul are pushed beyond human limits, the line between sports glory and religious sacrifice collapses into horror. Essex and I were talking about this before. I kind of said that it reminded me of Any Given Sunday meets The Exorcist, but I think, and we're talking about comparisons, when I teach screenwriting, I always tell my screenwriters, make sure you have comps that you can pull from. But I think Essex, your comp was spot on. What did you say?
Yeah, because it wasn't, to me, The Exorcist is more about like demonic possessions. This was more about like, what would you basically sell to the proverbial devil? It's not really like a devil character in the film, but it's more like devil's advocate.
Yeah.
How much of yourself and the things that you love would you sacrifice in order to achieve greatness and get money and fame and success and all of that? And so that's one of the things I was sitting there thinking about in the theater. I'm like, okay, this is kind of feeding into, anytime somebody reaches the apex of success, somebody be, oh, he in the Illuminati. He sold his soul. Beyonce sold her soul. Jay-Z sold her soul. Somebody's always talking like that. And this is kind of what that film is speaking to. Like, what kind of what are people really doing to achieve that level of success? Because to so many people, it's so unbelievably unattainable that they had to have done something. So that's kind of what happens with this film. So yeah, devil's advocate Any Given Sunday, I think.
Yeah, and we saw a little bit of that in the Ryan Coogler film Sinners, where it was like, are you willing to sell your soul, for immortality and to come out here and to be the best music person, which of course goes back to Robert Johnson. So I'm glad that we're starting to see these films where they're expanding more into the supernatural and like really making you think.
I'm gonna jump right in with the acting, and it's a good thing though. It's a good news, bad news thing. So as far as the acting, Marlon Wayans carried the film, y'all. Marlon Wayans carried the film. For those who might not be familiar, because there might be some young people watching this, he showed dramatic chops in other films, but he's of course known for his comedy, coming from the great Wayans family, great comedy family. That's what he's known for. That's his bread and butter. Unlike some actors who become, started out in comedy and then they just give it up and go straight to drama, he doesn't do that. But in this particular film, I think he carried it from the standpoint of he showed the dichotomy between, being an athlete versus somebody that is kind of a psycho. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that was willing to sacrifice any and everything for success. But he also has some moments there where he gives you some levity as well, gives you some comedy. And I just think he did a phenomenal job. His co-star Tariq, I can't remember the last name, but the guy that takes him under his wing.
His last name,
to mentor him and mold him. He's the heir apparent basically. He did a good job as well. But for the character that Marlon's playing, he's basically, so he's basically the black Tom Brady mixed with a little LeBron James, Jordan, whatever you want to call it. He's the sport. And the theme of it is, what are you willing to sacrifice to be successful? And then we go on this long, crazy ride, man. And it's just something else. But I did think him and the other guy pretty much carried the movie for me.
Yeah. We're talking about Tariq Withers here. Tariq Withers, who played the character of Cade, and Marlon Wayans played Isaiah White. And I agree with you. If it hadn't been for Marlon Wayans, I don't think that I would have been interested in this film. Jordan Peele was, I think it was smart for him to reach out to Marlon Wayans and say, hey, I want you to act in this. And he showed his chops, just like you said. And the other thing is that it's great that Jordan Peele, who comes from a comedic background, reached out to Marlon Wayans, who has a comedic background, and both of them are in this psychological, bloody horror film, and I love that. I love that, they're both of them are expanding, their reach.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, because I know you mentioned the supernatural, but was it supernatural or was it more of a macabre type of a thing? Because I was looking at it and it was so weird. And there was one particular scene, like when the crazy people get into the compound or whatever, and he's choking it out. But to me, it was like, it wasn't like they were ghosts or like creatures or something, but it was more like fanatical fans, but turned to 100 degrees. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
What did you?
Yeah, I of course, it was a sports drama or sports. It was, I would say, it was a sports psychological horror. How's that?
We're figuring out. I'm still figuring out what to make of this film. If y'all ain't figured that out yet, it's far out. It's really far out there.
It's out there, and I like out there films. And this was directed by a guy I really hadn't heard of him before, Justin Tipping, and he did a film. He did his first feature film in 2016 called Kicks, and look, I saw the trailer for it. It looked like a good coming of age film, and even Mahershala Ali was in it.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, and I think Essex. What's that?
You said it's called Kicks.
Kicks, yeah. And I think you said that Justin Tipping helped write it as well, right?
Yeah, he was a co-writer. Yeah, it was like three co-writers in the credits.
Yeah. So then he goes from Kicks to this, which had a great premise because we've never seen a sports psychological horror. As a writer,
yeah, you're real.
I feel that it just missed. It missed it brought me in. It brought me in, gave me the ride and then dropped me off, without I was like, yo.
You weren't satisfied. You didn't feel satisfied at the end.
Yeah, I wasn't. And one thing, again, I always talk about with screenwriters, the first five minutes, you got to bring me in. Give me a strong opening so that I'm interested, and you got me. And we saw that with a flashback scene, to Cade, who is the protagonist. And then we see him looking at his hero. Now, yes, spoiler alerts. We're giving spoilers here. His hero gets injured, but then we flash forward to the present day, and his hero now has 8 Super Bowl championships.
Yeah.
And it's like, what happened? How did that happen? So the wheels start turning and you get interested and you're like, okay, yeah, I'm emotionally invested in this right now.
Yeah. One of the weird things for me, and this is kind of where I was confused, because at first I thought it was going to veer into like some supernatural stuff. Because like, okay, he grows up, he's working out, something weird happens, and then something out of the blue, some little creature busts him upside the head.
Yeah.
So at some point I'm like, okay, is this a dream? Is this a vision? Is it, where am I going with this? And then we go and he's healing up, he's trying to get drafted, and now all of a sudden the GOAT, Marlon Wayans' character, Isaiah White, is all of a sudden taking interest in him. And I'm like, okay, well, how did we get there? You know what I'm saying? Like, it was kind of all over the place.
I'm going to tell you this. I firmly believe that this movie, it was symbolism over story.
Okay.
There was a lot of symbolism in here. Like they beat you over the head with symbolism. And I enjoyed it in the beginning. Like when the creature hit him upside the head and he got stitches, the stitches looked like the laces in a football.
Okay.
So it's kind of like football is the only thing that's always on your mind. And I was like, okay, that's kind of dope. But then they just kept hitting us with more symbolism and more symbolism. Like, and you know, Jordan Peele films are great for, you know, adding symbolism or hiding Easter eggs. And you're like, I got to go back and watch it again because I know that there's something that I missed. Yeah. But here they were just throwing all the symbols at you, like here, you know, you're like, bam, bam, and here's some more. And they just, you know, especially in Act 3, it was just complete symbolism. And we got that. Yes, football is just like the Greeks and the Romans, you know, where they went to battle and clashed and they were in the Colosseum and, you know, fought each other and stuff like that. I got that from it. But I really do feel like they lost the story because they went too much on symbolism.
Yeah, I would agree. I think the only part of a story I really felt was kind of with Marlon and Isaiah and Cade, when they were kind of big, you know, sort of a mentor-mentee relationship was starting to form.
Yes.
And him pushing him to such limits and kind of breaking down the game of everything that he's going to have to do. That's kind of the only really grounded type of story that I was picking up from it. But other than that, and it was few and far between, but other than that, it was more about like the visual and showing you how crazy this is and how crazy the fans could be and how crazy the culture can be. Some of the things that they're putting themselves through. I mean, they're doing the whole blood doping thing, the extreme physical violence. By the way, and the guy, you know, he gets attacked, which we never really got a good background with that. But he gets attacked, he's got a concussion, and now he's smashing his head up against other players. I was like, oh, that's a little far fetched. I mean,
but he got the blood. He got the blood. So the blood, which is like, I guess, steroids, gave him the ability to be able to, you know, to withstand that.
But they didn't show that till the end. Because remember, he didn't get, because Cade didn't do the blood thing until the end, but Isaiah they were showing him doing blood, but we thought it was his own blood. We thought they were doing like the blood doping thing. But we didn't get
the doctor, the one guy came in.
Yeah. They didn't explain what exactly that blood was till the end.
Right. But remember, when Cade got to Isaiah's house, the guy came by, I guess it was the coach or doctor or whatever, and he stuck him with the needle. And he didn't even say, man, what the hell are you doing or anything like that. You know, Isaiah was just like, yeah, you're going to like this. And he was just like, all right, cool.
Like, I thought that was like some pain shit. I thought that was a painkiller or something.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, boom. And then, you know, Isaiah hits him with the question, would you rather have immortality or good health or something like that?
Yeah. Would you rather never get tired or never get injured?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So then I guess, you know, he you know, kind of made his choice. And, you know, the movie, it was good with, you know, what it was attempting to do. You know, it had themes of, you know, obsession with greatness. You know, we could see that it showed you how football truly is a religion, you know, could be a cult, and how people go crazy over it, and how these athletes will do anything in the world to stay relevant, to stay healthy, and just to always, you know, always be at their best, you know, almost like athlete worship. Also.
Yeah, definitely. And some points of it was like, yeah, that's how they be acting. That's how they be acting in the comments. And
yep.
And then you see the people with their faces painted, and they're stalking out the stadiums and the hotels and all of that. Like, a lot of that is true.
Yeah, and what was like, I understand Cade's want, because he says that over and over again. I want to be the GOAT. I want to be the GOAT. Not Marlon, but Isaiah is already the GOAT. And it's like we can only have one. And then later we find out that there's like a bloodline.
Yeah.
Literally a bloodline.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of GOATs.
Where they pass down the greatness blood to every next person. And I was like, oh, come on, man.
Yeah. And again, with the symbolism, the team's name was like the Saviors. There were religious symbols in the beginning. We saw the dad's cross in the beginning. Then Cade was carrying the cross. There were symbols of the cross all throughout. Like it was really trying to show you how football is truly a religion.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we never did find out what Cade's need was. What was it like his acceptance to be human and just get broken up? Like, what is it?
Yeah, and what caused him to make the choice that he did at the end. But I wanted to go to something else that, to me, I would have preferred the story dealt more with. And you and I are both fathers to sons who have played sports.
Yep.
And his father's influence on him was very profound, and they kind of made it a point throughout the film of the father pushing him.
Yeah.
First of all, pushing him into sports, but also pushing him to be to be great, to be the one, to be him, right?
Go. Yep.
So what was the saying the father always had? No guts, no glory.
No guts, no glory. You got to sacrifice.
Yeah. So to me, like, I would have liked to see the story kind of show that in a way that made it make sense for him to want to deal with all the stuff that he's dealing with. You know what I mean? The psychology of always trying to, was he doing it for himself or was he doing it for his dad? You know what I mean?
That's a great point.
You know what I mean? Like, was he finding himself through this and just living everybody else's dream, or was he actually going to go? First of all, was this really his dream? And then when he makes a decision at the end that he does, is that still football? Or I think they realize he don't want to deal with this shit anymore.
Yeah, well, I think if I remember correctly, someone said something like he was ready to give up on football when he was younger, but then his dad died, so he did it for his dad. He stayed with it for his dad.
Okay.
So I think it's definitely for his dad, but what he wants to be the GOAT, but what is his ultimate need? And that's what I want, because that's what helps build that character development. Like, he just went to Isaiah's house and it was just like a freak show there. It was just I was like, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He basically goes to a summer camp from hell.
Yeah.
Football and this. Oh, and artistically speaking, this little compound, wherever it was, like it was amazing, right? It was kind of like a bunker, but made out of a football camp, basically. So and it was all out in the desert, out in Texas. And I was like, damn, that's kind of crazy. That's dope. But then you go inside and he starts off, he's cutting up animals and
oh my God. And then the wife reminded me of what's her name? Abramovich. What's her name? Adriana Abramovich.
I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about? She's this artist that gives.
She gave me Lady Gaga vibes. I don't know if that's
Lady Gaga and Abramovich, but they say that Abramovich is the lady who pretty much made like gave the Illuminati the blessing for Jay-Z and Beyonce to become who they are. Like she has like this ultimate power, almost like she's a seer, a psychic or something. And this is a real lady. So I was thinking that character must have been based on her, especially when I saw what happened at the end. Like, the wife was like the last one and was like, it seemed like she was the one that was in control.
Right. which was weird. She wasn't just like at first I saw it, I think, okay, black athlete, white wife. I thought there's kind of playing on that trope a little bit, but then she turned out to be so much more. She was a part of the whole culture of keeping this thing going, and basically an employee of the real Illuminati, I guess, for lack of a better term. It just seemed like that came out of nowhere too. So now he's fighting with the owners who are in charge of the, it was just like, you're taking me down so many different paths. And
it felt like,
trying not to give you a bunch of spoilers, but yeah, at the end, he's fighting off all these Jerry Jones types. Like, symbolism, but like you say, symbolism over story.
Yeah. And you hit it right. He's fighting off all these Jerry Jones types, and they're like, hey, you're supposed to give up everything for the greatness that we are offering you. We groomed you, as a child. You are the next GOAT. And this movie had so much potential.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to come down on the filmmaker or the director, because hell, he got an opportunity, he got a shot, and this is only his second feature. But I think the filmmaker has a lot of great potential as well. I'll go back and watch Kicks and see what it was like. But yeah, I think that Justin Tipping has great potential, and I think this. I don't want to say that this was an L for him, not a capital L, but maybe a small case L, because
I feel like, especially when you talk about the fact they had 3 writers, I feel like this film doesn't know what it really wants to be.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
There were too many minds.
Is it a horror? Is it a drama? Is it a thriller? Is it everything in between? And it just didn't land for me. Like I say, I could have dealt with more of a drama with some action, but it was marketed as horror, but there's no scares. It's not a jump scare type of a horror film. It's
more shock.
It's more of a shock and like, what the fuck is going on here type of thing. But it was at no point did I feel like I was scared or had to look around the corner to see what's coming at me. It was just trying to figure out. I'm just sitting here like, what the fuck am I watching? Why did he do that? You know what I mean?
That's the message I sent you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what the hell?
That was the message I sent you when I saw it. I was like, I don't know what the fuck I
You're right. Yes. Exactly. And like I say, visually, I'm entertained. I like these performances. I like the actors. I like to see, some of the action was okay. Was there a holler at the screen moment for you? Did you holler at the screen?
Yeah, the Act 3 when everything was just going haywire. I was like, what the hell? Because and again, I go back to this with character. Here is a character who we know that he wants to be the GOAT, and usually with a character, you give them agency. You give them agency to start making decisions, and those decisions snowball and get him into trouble or get him into plot, and you go through the internal struggle. Oh man, I made the wrong decision. I should have done this, and now I'm in all this. But everything was happening to him.
Yeah.
And that's why the end was just so unbelievable, because he was just kind of going through everything, letting stuff happen to him. And then all of a sudden at the end, he was just like, I'm going to kill everybody. And we just had a massacre. I was like, yo.
And the whole little, I guess it was like the, I don't know what you call it. When you got the little 5-point star with the little symbol that the agent died on, that part where it just blew up. I was like, well, what was that supposed to be?
Yeah.
I want to give some appreciation to the guy that played the doctor. I thought he did a really good job.
He did.
Let me see.
But he caught it for telling him to run. Yeah.
Jim Jeffries did a good job with his role as that. He was just funny, just sort of being the irreverent doctor who's administering all the pills and doing all the dope stuff. And he's kind of like trying to warn Cade about what he's doing. and I really enjoyed that part of the performance. So I appreciate him. As far as my hollering at the screen moment, man, yeah, the end. I was like, but unfortunately, I was hollering, "What the fuck is going on here?"
Yeah.
And not that I love me a good gore fest and some action, but it was just like you're led up to this point to think it's about Marlon's character and Tariq, and then to find out there's this whole big machine behind it. I get the symbolism and everything, but again, from the story standpoint, it just was so jarring and was like so out of the blue, you know what I mean? Yeah. So and it was just like, okay, this is here, goddamn it, here's your gore and your action and your bloody stuff, and we're gonna end it there. And there's really no epilogue. We don't know where this is going. We don't know how this ends for Cade. So
yeah. I mean, you slaughtered everybody. Where do we go from here?
Like, right. And again, I'm thinking maybe this is all in his mind because okay, what are the real world consequences now?
Yeah.
You done killed all the owners of the team. You done killed the man. You done killed the goat. You killed his wife. You killed everybody.
Everybody got to die.
Everybody died. So now where are you going? And you're in the middle of nowhere in, I guess, San Antonio, Texas, somewhere. What happens now? And we didn't get that. So it was just like, all right, bro, come on. Yeah. But it was unsatisfying. I think, the word is unsatisfying.
Yes. I think, but the crazy thing about it is that, people are talking about the film, and I guess, maybe they're talking about, how brutal football is also, No,
it definitely didn't do for sports what Any Given Sunday did.
No, not at all.
So this was, again, like I said, it's hard to know exactly what this is. And
how many hollers would you give it?
Man, if I would have saw it under the influence, maybe you shouldn't go see it sober. Maybe that's the problem. But I give it 2 out of 5, man.
Oh,
it really wasn't that satisfying.
Dude, you read my mind. I'm gonna give it a 2 as well, maybe even a 2.5, mostly because of Marlon Wayans. I think
yeah. I'm with that.
He
2.5.
did a hell of a job,
It would have been terrible without his performance.
It would have. And they needed somebody with a name to come in and who wanted to have a chance to stretch his acting chops, like you said. Yeah. And just I think Marlon was the right person because he got in there. I mean, he was just like, get your shit together. It was just
hey, it was he throw a little comedy in there too. It's like he can't help himself. Even with the drama, you're always gonna see something that come out of it.
Yeah, I love that guy as an actor, man. The whole Wayans family, and I think he was the best part of the film.
Absolutely.
And I'll stick with 2.5 hollers. So
I'm with that. 2.5 good.
Yeah. So this has been our review of the film Him. Go check it out in theaters if you want.
And make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Let us know what you thought of the film. If you agree with us, disagree with us, and let us know what films you might want us to review in the future, new releases or from the past.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, holla.
Holla, holla, holla. Holla, holla, holla.